Okay, these problems are on interest. Okay, when you borrow money from a bank, okay, you have to pay them for borrowing that money from the bank, and they charge you this extra money, which is called interest. Okay, if you put money into the bank is using your money, so the bank is paying you a little extra because they're using your money and they want to give you an incentive for you to put it into the bank. So that's called interest. Okay, interest is usually annual, or at least with the problems we're going to be working with are annual, which means it's determined per year. Okay, to find the interest, you're going to find the percent of the money. And remember, of means multiply. Okay, you're going to be finding the percentage of the money you put in the bank or the money you borrowed from the bank. Okay, and when you have a bank account, if you put money into the bank, the final balance is what they call it. The final balance is how much money you have in the bank altogether. Okay, so not only the money you put in the bank to begin with, but the extra interest that you've also accumulated. Okay, it's called a final balance. Okay, let's work through a couple problems here. And there is not a Khan Academy on this type of problem. Okay, but it's still a good thing to be able to do. Okay, $500 is invested in an account earning 4% simple interest. Okay, that's understood to be annual interest every year. It is kept in the bank for 20 years. Okay, find the amount of interest earned and the final balance after 20 years. Okay, so what I would do, I would find the interest earned after 1 year. Okay, the interest earned in 1 year, because the interest rate is annual. Okay, that's going to be 4% of the $500. Okay, of means times, and 4%, you want to think of that as a decimal. Okay, you do want to change that to a decimal. To change a percentage into a decimal, you move the decimal point 2 to the left, because percent means divide by 100. And if you divide a number by 100, you're actually going to be moving the decimal point to the left to get your answer. Okay, so we need to find 0.04 times 500 to get the yearly interest. So 0.04 times 500 gives us 20. Okay, so that means in 1 year, you're earning $20. Every year, you're going to earn 20 extra dollars on the money you put in the bank. Okay, but we need to find the amount of interest earned after 20 years. So interest earned after 20 years, apologize for this not being very neat. Okay, if you're going to earn $20 a year for 20 years, you're going to take 20 times 20 to get the total interest earned in that time. Okay, $20 per year for 20 years, you're going to earn 20 times $20 in interest. Okay, 20 times 20 is 400. Okay, $400 in interest in 20 years is what you've earned. Okay, the final balance after those 20 years. Okay, final balance. That just means how much do you have altogether? Okay, you put 500 into the bank, right? That's still there. The bank is giving you an extra $400 in interest. So you now have a total of $900 in the bank. Okay, so that was extra money you've earned just for having the money sitting in the bank instead of sitting at home under your mattress. Okay, so we found the interest for 1 year by taking 4% of 500. And then we found the amount of interest after 20 years by taking that amount times 20, because that was the yearly interest. And then we tacked that on to get the final balance. We tacked it on to the $500 that we put in the bank. Okay, the second problem, this works both ways for interest. If you get a loan, you have to pay interest. Okay, if you borrow money from the bank, you have to pay them interest. Okay, so let's say you get out a loan for $25,000 with an interest rate of 8%. You pay the loan back in 10 years, find the amount of interest you owe the bank, and the final amount you have to pay back. Okay, so in 1 year, we have to pay 8% of $25,000. 8% of $25,000. Okay, of means times. Change that percentage to a decimal by moving the decimal point 2 to the left. So that would be 0.08 times 25,000. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to use my calculator, save a little time. Okay, 0.08 times 25,000. Okay, 2,000. Okay, that's exactly 2,000. Okay, so what that means is we have to pay $2,000 in interest every year. Okay, every year, because it's annual. But they want to know how much interest do we owe the bank after 10 years. Okay, after 10 years. So the total interest that we have to pay back the bank is $2,000 per year for 10 years. So we have to pay them back 2,000 times 10. So that would be 20,000. Okay, we have to pay the bank $20,000 in interest back. Okay, sounds like it's a lot of money. Okay, so we want to figure out now the amount you have to pay back altogether. Okay, the total that we have to pay back to the bank. Okay, we're going to be paying back the $25,000 we borrowed, plus the $20,000 we have to pay in interest. Okay, we're going to be paying the bank back $45,000 altogether. Okay, now in real life, they're going to make these monthly payments throughout the 10 years. So it's not going to be as horrible as it sounds, but it's still, that's the amount of money. Okay. Just let me know if you have any questions on this. And again, this is not on Khan Academy, but it is something that is really good to know for NWEA. Okay, keep me posted if you have any questions at all.